We are just hours away from what the White House has dubbed Liberation Day, where President Trump plans to roll out tough new tariffs. He says it'll free us from foreign goods, but some economists say we'll pay the price. Ahead of that announcement, we called an economist at the University of Minnesota to decode some of this tariff talk, and he says to understand how tariffs could impact us today, we have to first look back.
We set just very huge tariffs in the early 1930s, and economists think that that contributed to the severity and length of the worldwide depression. That was one reason the Allies, at the end of the Second World War, decided to put into place mechanisms from keeping the tariff wars from starting again. That's why our traditional allies are shocked by what's happening now, because they say, wait, the U.S. since 1944 has preached to us that we have to have low tariffs and not engage in trade wars.
Now, to understand the impact of tariffs, he says that we can use a more recent example from President Trump's first term.
Evidence shows that when the U.S. was in this trade war with China since 2017, Americans were paying 90% or more of the tariff.
That is American firms and consumers shouldering that 90+%. Now, a tariff is technically a tax paid by the importer once it gets here to the United States, but the importer can just increase the price you pay by the same amount as that tax, meaning all prices in the system adjust. And our expert expects a similar outcome with tariffs today, that U.S. firms and consumers will ultimately shoulder most of that cost. We asked him about a recent example shared by the White House. This Japanese beer company moving manufacturing to Wisconsin in response to President Trump's 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum. The White House calls it a good example of how it can create jobs here at home.
The fact that tariffs could result in good outcomes for certain industries in the United States is certainly the case. That's always the case. It's going to cause higher prices for U.S. consumers for their beer. Okay? The story is short-term pain, we're going to have long-term benefit. I don't see it. Economic theory says countries should do what they're best at. We should not do what China is best at, because they're willing to pay their workers a lot less money than we want to trade our workers. It will create jobs, but think of the jobs that'll be lost.
So again, that big tariff announcement is expected here at the White House tomorrow. The latest reporting, it could be across the board 20% tariffs on nearly all imports. But we will be sure to bring you the latest tomorrow, first here at 4.